Hello from Fredericksburg, Virginia. It's been a while since I've had time to do one of these, and the roads and the miles, 1,500 miles later, I'm back home again. But I did want to take time before school starts, and I know some school districts are already back. I had the privilege of working with some fantastic teachers in West Virginia, and their students started school last week. In this part of Virginia, we don't start till after Labor Day, but I know my neighbors are starting next week. So I wanted just to sit down and have a nice calm moment while everybody's out getting school supplies and clothes, and talk about some other things we need to get ready before school starts. There's some things that will help your children, especially if they're kindergartners and first graders, to get ready for their new year at school. Things that give them time to prepare and not clutter up their minds every day. I found one thing that really works well is to sit down with your children and designate a part of the closet that's just school clothes worthy. Sometimes the little ones don't really understand what goes together. I see them with plaids and stripes and tops and bottoms that don't match. And my older kids sometimes wear things that are not appropriate to school because their parents had to leave before they got ready for the school bus. So designating a part of your closet where you have maybe 3 or 4 outfits already pre-planned for the week is a really good way to have that discussion with younger children about what matches color-wise and pattern-wise, and with your older children about what's appropriate to wear to school. And then when they get up in the morning, they nearly need to take the hanger that says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, and they're getting ready. Because I know a lot of you moms are working moms, so when you're downstairs getting breakfast ready, you don't have to keep running up and down the steps or going back to the bathrooms and bedrooms to see who is having a trouble matching things. I even have some kids take their socks and match them and run them over the top of the hanger. Anything that's going to make that outfit work. Shoes laid out. It really takes away a lot of stress, anxiety, maybe crosswords when you're getting impatient. Another thing is a good thing to have a conversation about: where are we going to do homework? Where is a really good place in the house where there's no iPhones, iPads, TVs, television, access computers, any of those things going on to interfere with homework? Now, one thing I will say is someplace where there's nice soft music, if your child can use that for their benefit. Some children need that soft background white noise to help them concentrate, and for other children it's just too much distraction. So designating a place and a time when we're going to do homework every night takes away a lot of guessing, because if your older child is in that designated place and your younger child, you can always say, no, you can't be playing Angry Birds over here right now because your younger brother, that's his homework spot. And another good thing I found is to find something like this, and I found these at a Target store, and it has a little plate over here where you can put your child's name. When the homework is done, instead of going in the backpack where you might not get a chance to see whether it was done right, it can go right in a bin like this, and then when you do have time, perhaps when they're all asleep, you can kind of go over what they've done and just make sure it was done and coincides with the planning book that I hope your school is using to let you know and communicate with you as a parent what should be done. One other really good conversation to have with your children is, what are we going to do with after school? In my experience as a principal, I have found so many parents that want their children to take advantage of everything that's offered in the entire world, that I have kids in K through 6 who are designated busy every single day after school. And invariably, the parent will come to me 3/4 of the way through the quarter and want to know why they're not doing well in reading or math or social studies, because they're not getting to access their homework till 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and they're tired. And if you know how you do things when you've worked all day and you want to do it at 8 o'clock, usually if it's a hard task for me, I'll go, no, I have to leave this tomorrow because I'm not going to give it my best shot. A really good rule of thumb is we do one thing that requires learning and one thing that requires physicality. So if you're taking karate lessons or guitar lessons or Tai Chi, okay, that's using the brain. You're learning how to do those things. If you're involved in t-ball, softball, football, basketball, that's more athletic. So if you do one learning thing and one athletic thing each quarter, I know with guitar lessons, my grandsons take guitar lessons all year. So you settle on guitar lessons if that's what you want, and maybe basketball or softball or football. Having 2 activities scheduled in a week and the rest of the time as free play is a really good way to accomplish two things. Not have things so structured that your children don't know how to amuse themselves unless someone gives them an absolute roadmap. Because figuring out how to play is a really good muscle activity for your brain. And it doesn't overcrowd them so that homework and the things that are just as important, and I might say even maybe a little bit more important than t-ball, get done in a timely manner with accuracy. I've seen some children who are so overloaded during the week actually fall asleep in class by 10 o'clock in the morning because they can't get everything done. So those are just a few tips. Get the clothing out of the way. Don't leave yourself in for an argument with that. And one more thing, lunch. We have a cafeteria at our school, which, sad to say, I've never eaten a meal in that cafeteria because I don't particularly care for school food. So what I do is I pack my lunch every night before I go to bed because I don't have the time driving 50 miles to school to be messing around with this stuff in the morning. And I'm going to tell you something. You can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which is that's a good substantial meal on wheat bread, and put a peach or an apple and maybe some cheese sticks in a lunchbox like this, put it in the refrigerator, and then they know what clothes they're going to wear, their lunch is all ready to go, and the morning starts off with a whole lot less confusion. Now, for the first day your kids go back to school, I have a recommendation for you. I have found this fascinating. I decided I was going to read one little vignette a day, and as you can tell by the book with the tabs, I couldn't stop reading it. This is a book called This I Believe. It's the personal philosophies of remarkable men and women. But I don't mean remarkable like Einstein and presidents. Some people in here are very average workaday individuals who express what they believe. And I think in this hurried, harried world with the economy the way it is and people just stressing out and trying to just make ends meet, it's a good time just to slow down. It'll take you 3 minutes, I promise you, to read one of these vignettes before you go to bed. And it kind of helps you focus on what you really believe in, because so many of the things that people have expressed in this book that they believe, I also believe in. There's some that rate higher in my scale of beliefs and some that rate lower, but I haven't read anything yet here that didn't strike a chord with me somewhere as a mother, a teacher, a principal, and just a human being. So as we get ready to head into our first week of school, I would say the things I've discussed with you really lead down to organization, stress relievers, helping your kids be prepared, and just a tad of independence, because the more independent the kids get in their own self-efficacy, the better they're going to do in school. I hope you all have a great start to the school year. I'm anxious to get back. School is boring without all the kids. I miss all 620 of them. Have a great school year, and we'll be in touch soon.